largest events are usually the wildfire or flooding, and of course there's been seems a real increase in wildfires. And
the latest one was a house fire. Family of 3. They lost their home to a fire, and they lived on an acreage, and it was a propane explosion. So they basically had to run for their lives, and they lost everything, and there were multiple explosions on the property. So it was a very scary and urgent event.
ESS is a group of volunteers that respond to an emergency when we have evacuees that are out of their homes. So we provide services such as food, clothing, and lodgings to help them on the road to recovery for up to 72 hours.
It's communities helping each other, neighbors helping each other, supporting people in need.
There's steps and tasks for each person, and there's roles. I think it's really well laid out, and someone could jump in and help out. It's like the walk-in volunteers. You give them a list and they're ready to go.
When they came to see us, they were very upset, and we were able to help them out, and it was such a pleasure to be able to do that.
I've been involved since 2007 with our ESS team, and we've had a number of different evacuation scenarios, and you don't really realize the resources you have in your town until you go through something like that. But in Prince George, we're really, really fortunate to have groups such as the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, some of the Aboriginal support groups, and various social service agencies. We've got Northern Health, and a bunch of other bodies, just too numerous to mention, BC Housing in the ministry. But the community really pulls together, and just fabulous resources that and contact lists that we've developed over time.
This is important to me because I want to be able to be of assistance when there is an emergency for our area, especially in Prince George, and eventually I would like to go out provincially and then maybe globally to assist the people that need help.
Mobile support team can be called up, and within 24 hours the province of British Columbia will send us wherever we're needed. We have 24 to 48 hours to be deployed.
We're mobile. We go into communities basically that don't have an ESS team, or that might be a little short of help and need a little extra manpower.
Okay. Or need a little bit of on-the-spot training.
NEST is the Northern Emergency Support Services Training Weekend. It's an opportunity for emergency support services volunteers to come together, to train together, to exercise and practice together, and to get to know one another. So in a large-scale event in the North, we can come together as a team and work well side by side. It's a very exciting opportunity.
ESS volunteers need to take a variety of courses. 2 of the basics are happening here this weekend, and that's the reception center and also the registration and referral. Volunteers need to know, where ESS is being provided, and a large part of what we do in ESS is the paperwork, ensuring we get the evacuees what it is they need, whether it's a hotel, billeting, staying with friends or family, but the paperwork is what's really going to help meet the evacuees' needs.
The people you get to meet, the training, like this training weekend, is crucial to the success of the program, and also the fact that you get to help your community when they need you, because without trained volunteers in a disaster, it just adds more heartache and stress to people who are already dealing with too much.
ESS afforded Cindy and I the opportunity to get our level 1 first aid, which was really helpful and makes you really think about that. And then the psychological first aid, I really love that teaching. That was awesome for me just as a person, because the takeaways I took away from that was we need to use our eyes, we need to use our ears, and we need to use our heart. So when we're just dealing with people who have gone through stressful times, whether it's displacement or whatever, But for me, I just found it really good teaching, just practically, just so I can serve better in my community.
And as you get further into it, being a director alternate, I have more advanced training and so things like that that help bring it all together, like the site management course and the ESS director course.
Because it makes you feel good. You're part of a community, you're part of a team, and you can give back and you can help your community in a time of disaster.
I volunteer with ESS because it's the best way I know to support my community in an emergency.
Coming out to these courses and meeting people and networking with other volunteers.
I think people need to volunteer with ESS. It's a way to provide support to your community. In any major disaster, we see people show up to help. If we can get trained volunteers to show up, they can work with the walk-in volunteers, and we're going to be able to meet the needs of the people that, you know, have lost their homes, do need other places to stay. So great way to support our communities in a disaster.
It's just a really, really nice thing to do. I'd love to say that I do it because of the people that need the help. I do it for myself because it just makes me feel good. Amazing.
It's very rewarding and gratifying to be able to help others.
Yeah, I do love the experience, networking, and yeah, a little bit of self-rewarding too.
The idea that you're able to help people when they're desperate for help. It's really fun to see communities pitching in where it's needed and how people are so enthusiastic about helping when it's needed.
She's just great at what she does.
You guys are giving me warm fuzzies, and it's just like ESS is such a family, and I feel the love with what's going on here. And man, okay, let's have the shout out then.
What do we say? We love 1, 2, 3. We love